Archers, attack! Keep firing! Let none escape! Another down! Do not relent!
It's another week in the Galagio. I'm Galatian. I'm Slidewhistle.
It's your boy, Immunization.
And it's me, Galagi Joe. They named the damn building after me.
It took me a little long to figure out that there was a post quest. Like, I know you mentioned there was a post quest, Aaron, saying that, like, oh, you know, like the guy who beat the Sojourner of Undermine really quickly. But I was trying to go to raid. I was trying to roll up to the Galagio, and my brain lapsed, and I actually went to the Galagio instead of the raid portal. And I was like, what's this quest here? I didn't know there was a post game.
This is the one where you deal with who will own the Galagio.
Yeah, and I didn't know Gallywix had a fucking son.
One, I think that's his nephew. And two, yes, he definitely was his nephew. All right, that did get a big freaking belly laugh out of me where it's like, yes, it's me. I'm in charge here. And then in maybe 4 frames, a cartoon bomb comes down and goes, oh no, he's gone.
So I have not done this quest line yet. I assume maybe it starts like after you have like caught up on the quest and then killed Gallywix, like either through story mode or raiding or whatever.
Yeah, and then it pops up.
It's not like a story quest though. It's just an environment one. It's like Slide says, it's a Sojourner of Undermine one. So it's interesting. I wonder if there are other prerequisites. Like, do you have to do the other ones before it shows up? I was chomping at the bit, so I don't know.
No, I have not done all of mine. I'm missing quite a bit of my Sojourner quests. I just was like, does this character exist before this, or did they just make it to be a funny haha he's dead? And I was looking it up, and yeah, they just made him up, I guess. Also, under trivia, it says his appearance and title are likely references to Doug Dimmadome from the Fairly Odd Parents cartoon. Why? Because his title is owner of the Galagio? That is a stretch, my dude.
Well, I'm also looking at the picture here, and he does have a very tall white hat, so that's probably the reference.
But... Yes,
I do remember his hat, but yeah, we don't get a lot of silly hats. I feel like they should have, I don't know, get in there, tweak some numbers, give him a really, really big one. He's only there for like a minute anyways.
What I thought was funny is that when the bomb fell on him, and he died, I'm doing air quotes, he was at full health. They didn't even like make his health 0. So I was thinking he was just like, oh, he's just gonna get up and show back up later. And then, oh, he's actually fucking dead. Are you kidding me?
Is he faking his own death here for monetary reasons somehow?
He just wants to gamble. Because if you own the casino, you can't gamble, you know? You gotta fucking go. Being a goblin must be so hard. These quests are insane. How do they live like this?
They're conditioned of years of cruelty. I feel like even the nice sterilized Undermine that we leave at the end of the story here, where Gazlo's like, now we're all in charge, is still like really rude. There's still a lot of criminal cartels walking around.
Yeah, and this like, and then I already forgot the fucking detective's name. I liked him a lot. He was very Columbo-y. His kids, his little bouncing babes are becoming goblins. Like, one of them was just like, yeah, I charged 3 times for overtime and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, girl, you're like 7. This is fucked up.
Yeah, they're really going through it in these quests. So there's like this whole Sojourner quest too, where basically you need to like free this poor family from the slumlords down on like the lower side of it was pretty rough down there, but like you have to like overthrow a corrupt landlord basically. I'm like, damn, they like really are going through it here, and this is just so that they could all live in peace with like 6 of them in one bedroom. I'm like, damn, what's happening here in the Undermine?
Speaking of in the Undermine, we were in the Undermine and we were in the Galagio for raid. Yes. Hey, we can talk about raid.
Yeah, there you go. I've followed you every step of the way. Yes, we have managed out of nowhere to punch through our 2 prog bosses and go all the way into the actual Galagio itself.
Also, I'm realizing because of the way that we had to record early last week, because I had to take a trip to Vegas to be like in the namesake of the Galagio, we recorded before we actually raided last week. So technically we have 2 weeks of raid to talk about right now.
How did the Bellagio compare to the Galagio? Any nephews being bombed in the front steps?
No, it was actually one of the nicer casino and resorts that I stepped foot in over the course of the weekend. So it's actually really fancy and nice.
How many dealers do you feel like possess the ability to summon a spectral shark and take out 98% of your health?
There was a table. I was playing blackjack, and that's basically what happened. I just very quickly lost my money. So
They gotcha. You got hit by the Gob Squad in the Bellagio.
You got creamed by the one-armed bandit. This Doodleburger over here kept doing Firecoin.
Okay, that reminds me. During the Galaccio quest, why is one of the band ladies just named Hamburger? Why is her name Hamburger?
Let her live her truth. That's
Are you
my
making
girl
fun
Hamburger.
of goblin culture? That's a very respectable name in their community, Slidewhistle.
All right, you're right. Sorry. Okay, so raid last week.
Also, before you get into this, I just want to acknowledge that you're making fun of somebody who's going by Hamburger when you go by Slidewhistle.
That's more refined. I can shorten it to Slide. What are they, Ham?
Yeah,
Burger?
it's my girl Hammy. Hey, what's
Hammy.
going on, Hammy? You know me, another day in paradise, cheesesteak.
I don't want to take advice from somebody who is getting the jab over here.
I mean, I've always been a proponent of getting vaccinated, so...
Ooh, very controversial nowadays. In Trump's America, we got to flip-flop on some of these values.
Yeah, the fact that I named my priest this, long before COVID, even, so I don't fucking know.
Get your vaccines before they're illegal, kids. Okay, but yeah, raid last week. What happened? You weren't there. You abandoned us on Wednesday.
Yeah, so on the day I was there, though, I don't think we killed anything new. I think we just cleared up to what we had already done, so...
Yes, we had taken out, I believe at that point, only 2 bosses. We had done Vicky and the Gear Grinders, and then the Gruesome Twosome. And then Wednesday, it was like, well, we don't have a lot of people. Let's just clear normal just to get people some stuff. And we did it too efficiently. We cleared normal in maybe 80 minutes. And it's like, okay, we're going on a break, and then we're going back to heroic. And I remember being like, no! I thought I could go to bed early. I thought this was easy street.
Oh, yeah, and then I pulled up the logs. I see it now. We wiped on Sprocketmonger Lockenstock Heroic for 9 attempts, and our lowest attempt that week was, I believe, 41%.
Yeah, y'all were really going through it when I wasn't there.
Yeah, we were just missing a lot of bodies, I think. It was more than 1, or maybe it was just 2, because we were at 14. It was hard. But
I was going to say Mal Gone was gone, but Mal Gone is never Mal here anymore. I don't know what that boy is doing, but it's left our healing a little funny.
Yeah, I think he was here last time, but now it seems like he's on an every other week basis, which is kind of funny. And okay, it's kind of nice getting to heal big numbers, but also it's kind of scary because the rooms are kind of big and we need more people spread out, otherwise people die. Which was happening this week on Prague. People were so spread out because it's a huge fucking arena. And on goddamn heroic Styx Bunk Junker, it's one healer is on the ball every single fucking time, it seems like.
Slidewhistle was basically telling me going into this that he had no expectations for us being able to kill Styx Bunk Junker, the Katamari boss, at all. He thought we'd just be wiping on it all the time. Also, first off, we started the week on Sprocket guy.
Sprocket Longer Lockenstock.
Yeah, so we cleared up to him and then started proc on him on our first night. And we had very consistent prog on him. I think there wasn't a single pull where we didn't get better, and then we just killed him, I think. And then we were able to spend the rest of our second night starting on Katamari boss.
Katamari we did. We were Katamariing the fuck out of that. What happened? All of a sudden, I feel like everyone turned into professional bowlers, and there was a weak aura involved, but I know good and well that everybody got the weak aura. So people were just dodging balls, eating trash, fucking eating my trash. Nuss.
There was sort of a rallying cry at one point that, and I'd never point fingers, but it's don't forget, you can roll over the bad guys. And all of a sudden we really started picking up speed. And I was like, Did you guys not know that you could roll up the bad guys? That makes sense why I feel like our trash balling was lackluster before. Because, yeah, if you're intentionally avoiding all of the baddies, you really are bobbing and weaving through there.
Yeah, I think they were. I think there was just a lot of. I mean, it's so many mechanics that I didn't want to say that at the beginning because then there'd be too many things to remember, and then people just wouldn't. So I waited a little bit and I watched, and the amount of hyenas that were up my ass and up the healer's ass and just up like random DPS's ass because nobody was rolling them over and debuffing them was crazy.
And then at the end, when we were like on our last few polls, when we were like getting some polls where we were sub 10%, Lynn was making the executive decision to say that like we need to just basically ignore all mechanics, make our balls big, and throw them at the boss, and then kill him that way. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, like it worked, but I also didn't have trust, and I turtled just so that I could live through all the bombs exploding and then do a little bit more damage to finish him off.
It's like you said, it's instead of being like, oh, well, let's just keep progressing and like doing the thing. It's like, okay, everyone, for no real particular reason, let's put it all on the line, baby. It's Vegas. We get it in the next 10 seconds and we got to try again for the next 8 minutes.
Betting it all on trash.
And I was here with him. I believed, and I was a fool. I doubted my friend Immunization and said, nah, come on, it's 2% every time. It's simple geometry. And then it ended up, it ranged from 2 to 0.25%. It was like, oops, sorry, everyone. We did it hard mode for no reason.
Yeah, so we definitely have it on farm. There were like 3 of us alive when we killed them, but I mean, like, we definitely have to fight down, though. I mean, like, I don't think that, like, the fact that it's just, like, Slide, myself, and Lynn alive at the end, like, really means anything. I feel like we will probably kill him before we even get to, like, that point next week, just with, like, additional gear. So we killed the new bosses of Bunk Junker and Lock and Sprocket.
Sprocket, Monger, Lock and Stock.
That one. And now we have officially have entered the heroic casino now, and you know, on paper, the one-armed bandit should be easier than it was for us. I mean, like, I guess, like, our first polls on it were, like, on the second half of our second night, so maybe we're a little tired. But, like, I don't think there's really new mechanics on it. I think everything just hurts more, and we just really weren't getting it done. I mean, I guess we got him down to, like, almost when he starts going into his second phase, so we had him at, like, 38% or something like that by the end of the night.
I think a lot of it is just we need to focus. His 3 green meanies, we need to focus specifically on which 2 are okay. Because I get what he was going for, but there was a lot of times where I would see like paladins like attacking the third one. Because it's like, come on, guys, we got to make sure all 3 of them die. But it's like we all started doing that spread out enough that none of them were dying. And then the man would come, or the machine would come and beat us up. So next week, it's like, if Lynn calls out the 2, please focus on the 2. The other guy can die later.
Yeah, I think the problem was when the present bombs started to walk at people, and then once that happened, basically everybody just panicked because then nobody was hitting anything and everyone started to run. And historically, our rate is not good at running and gunning. It's either you're running or you're gunning.
Speaking of running and gunning, I have to call out my good friend Immunization. He's over there playing roulette. He's playing with people's lives. When the coin comes
I said it in the chat, did I not? I said sometimes I just want to throw this coin through the middle of the group to make sure that they get a buff, and I wasn't joking.
And it's probably just because I'm also a coin guy, so I'm at the back. Yeah, there were definitely a few times I would grab my coin and I'd throw it at the wall again just to throw it in the trash. And as I was walking back, I'd see a purple line and a big circle rolling past me. I was like, this dude threw it sideways.
Hey, listen, you should be a little more appreciative of your 10% buff, Aaron.
This crumb bum, he's putting it all on the line. The purple line.
I had made that request. I was like, I said, where are the blue lines? Where are they? Like, I don't understand why I'm not seeing them. And he's like, well, me and Aaron are throwing the coins. And I was like, oh, throw them to the group. Throw them to the group. Give me the buff. Because I need that 10% buff to heal. Because holy shit, without it, that fight is so hard.
Yeah, so then my middle ground was I was trying to make some trick shots with some of these coins, like not just straight up through the group, but like towards some melee that were like working on the third ad that I trusted would be able to dodge it, like Billy or Pablo. Like I was like, they'll see it coming and probably dodge it, unless Cat Body betrays Pablo or something, you know?
I think that's our last step. It'll be for getting everybody like ready to like kill that boss, is kind of just throwing it through, because I noticed that once I started to say like stand next to the line, guys, you get the smiley face, and then at one point I saw everyone fucking conga line all up. There was like 14 raiders in a row, like they're trying to get a fucking Vantage rune from Lynn, and I was like, yeah.
It's so fucking funny, but like it's a pretty substantial buff, and you can like renew it too. So like that, I do think that that's one of the next steps. And then also, as Aaron said, I feel like we just need a little more focus on the ads, because I think overall our damage is low because we were approaching the soft enrage of the fact that, like, I think on some of our best pulls, we didn't have another combination of unique 2 coins to put in. Like, so I feel like that just is, like, the enrage before we made it into, like, the last step. Also, one other thing that I wanted to bring up here was that, like, Aaron, you probably, because as you said, we're the coin tossers here. I was getting so pissed the fuck off whenever we had to try to throw our coins when the sucky totem was happening at the same time. And I'm like, oh my god, if it cancels my throw one more fucking time, I'm going to crash the fuck out right now.
Well, that was Raid. I'm sorry, I've been sitting on a questione here, an incoming report, and I need your insight into this. Is Wowhead, like, gone from social media?
What do you mean?
I checked their twitters.com, and are they taking a stand? The last thing they posted was
I hope so.
over a month ago. Do we follow them on the Blue Sky?
Oh, yeah. So I'm looking at Twitter. Yeah, they have not posted since, like, the Love is in the Air event. Let me check Blue Sky real quick.
I mean, yeah, I guess good enough for them if they fully jump ship, but I didn't see anything. I hope they're okay over there. I guess I could just check the website, but I'm too lazy.
They are. Their recent posts on Blue Sky are 1 hour ago, 2 hour ago, 3 hour ago, 3 hour ago, 3 hour ago. Yeah, well, and I guess they just fully committed to the bit of the sky.
Now I have to follow something else over there. Ugh. How else am I going to easily steal headlines to talk about?
Well, you really want the headline that's 5 items from Kultiras we want in Blair housing. What the fuck's that article, Lawhead? What the hell's that? Come on.
Squishy. Also, Aaron, you could just like go to their website.
I guess
that's what I normally do.
I guess, yeah, but
wait, yeah, you only use Twitter for that?
Well, yeah, I don't use Blue Sky like at all.
No, I'm saying like, but you don't ever go to like whyhead.com, like.
No, because then I have to like scroll. I like the headlines and the little pictures.
Oh, you like whatever the algorithm decides to just show on your feed?
Yeah, make it easy for me. I don't want to do a bunch of reading. Just give me a TLDR of the news so then I can look into it and act surprised on the show.
Throw me the tilder. Speaking of tilders, we got a review? Question mark.
Yeah, so I have poured a shot because, we say that we will take a shot for all reviews. I will just read this as is. It was via email. The title is Podcast. It is from Babaha Spana, and they say, I love podcast. Good, very good. I like the world of Warcraft. Aran is the silly guy. Slidewhistle is the leader. Immunization is the shy guy. Very cute. Very good.
Can you do your best Shy Guy impression for me?
Oh, how do they sound? Do they just make sounds like Rah?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. Is it ever difficult to drink the shots that we have to through your mask?
Yeah, most of the time I just like throw it towards the, I'm doing air quotes, mouth hole. I mean, I don't know if that's actually part of the mask or if it's like actually, a mouth hole. I'm pretty sure it's not. So I guess I just take like the essence of a shot.
Slidewhistle, have you ever seen him without it? Also,
no.
I feel like your home, I've been in your home. I feel like it's, there are a lot of things pretty high up for a little like 2 foot tall robed guy. I don't mean to shame you on the air here, but you need to make it more accessible for your boyfriend's diminutive height.
No, see, you misunderstand. The one that you interact with is the one on top of the pile. There's like 4 stacked deep. The other 3 don't really matter. They just kind of, hold them up.
Also,
I
when my 3 buddies are not around, I am able to just attach a few balloons to my back, and then I just like hover around with my like left and right flags.
Final question, Immunization. I'm well aware of Shy Guy's Toy Box, the 4th area in the first Paper Mario. How come you have never invited me in? Why have you denied me the magic of Shy Guy's Toy Box?
There's a very strict policy. You need a rewards card. You need to be up to a certain level. You need to be like a premier member of the Toy Box to enter. Even.
Damn.
So, Babaha, as we say, that's a review. We're counting it. We have shots in front of me and Shy Guy. I don't know, Aaron, you got a 40 hands over there?
Oh, you know it. I've got a big chug-a-lug right here because you know me, Siley Guy.
Okay. Thanks, Babaha.
Thanks, Baba.
Cheers, Babaha.
Also, as I process the shop, Papa Cheese, his gifts have been bestowed to the world. All 5 have been given away, so please do not ask for more. Unless you want him to give you a funny video.
It's actually really funny. When I got back from Vegas, Aaron reminded me that I, in fact, did not get a video or audio recording of Papa Cheese singing Lady Gaga or something of the like. So I'm very thankful that we only got like the exact amount of requests for these. So there it is.
Especially because also I was going to dox him, but I actually don't know his address now. The dox that I would have given you is actually Tyre's home, and he is separated from this entirely.
I don't know why I'm so tickled by the entire word interaction. But this is your reminder to send us an email at donotrelentlpod@gmail.com. We read Babaha's. We could read yours. Some of the people who were asking for the Papa Cheese subscription said that they were big fans. Like they were afraid that they were all going to be taken. No, listen. Hey, sometimes you shoot your shot and you get it, baby. Yeah! What you guys doing wild this week?
It's been a busy week for me overall because I missed a lot of last week because I was traveling. So I've done a lot of keys. I've pugged some raid. I've done a lot so far. But what sucks is that my vaults were bad. There just was nothing in either of them, and I'm really mad about it.
Empty vaults, empty hearts.
Can lose.
Meanwhile, I'm getting too many things. I don't know what to pick. Ugh. I'm very upset that the game has not given me any kind of shoulders. There's 623 and I can't replace them with nothing.
You got any sparks?
I have to make my crafted gear at some point. I just don't know what it is. I gotta look into it. But I have been cooking. I've been frying out there. I've been really trying. I've been doing delves on both Growlina and Booty ATW. I don't really know what I want from her. She is currently protection, and I'm doing content to try and level her up, but then at the same time, still remain too scared to do anything with any other people on it. I'll run normals or heroics, or maybe a mythic 0, but she's not a mythic raider. She's not a raider. She's not a mythic pluffer. I don't know. It's merely a practice in futility for the moment, but she's up there. Surprisingly more so than I would have thought.
I feel based on what you just said, I guess delves might be the answer. I don't.
Yeah, I
don't know though. How high can you gear on delves though alone?
I mean, you can gear pretty high on delves alone, and then I feel like that would be a good jumping point to then taking her into a mythic plethora, because then she's oh, I can keep I kept healing Bran alive, or he kept me alive.
No, but I don't know. Mythic Plus, I have been doing it this week because it is the weekly, and people have been nice, but I'm still too scared, and I feel especially being a tank, you're supposed to know what to do. Very easily, I could pull someone extra, and then it's you're done. You're kicked.
It's hard, but you could. I honestly think it's fine because for a couple of reasons. You can always just say, and this is what I did when I was tanking my paladin for that brief season. Is that Shadowlands I was tanking? It was like one season.
Honestly, I still do it whenever I like bring Garage out of the closet. Or whenever I bring Garage out of the garage.
Congratulations! I didn't even know.
how Aaron, how could you not know? He's literally dressed as if he's ready to go to International Mr. Leather.
I didn't know. I know he has quite a few titles, one that including, but I didn't want to assume.
No, honestly, props to you for not assuming. But no, whenever I do bring him back into rotation and tank things, like even if it's a low key that I'm trying to poke, I just always just say it. I'm like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, or maybe I say it with a little more tact. I'm like, I've never tanked this dungeon before.
I'm like, hey, I'm new. I haven't done this one in a while. Any tips? Or like, have mercy.
And then most of the time they don't even respond, and I'm like, well, at least it's out there.
I started doing that because, I'm one of the lucky few. I get to show up to, like, +6, lust. And I just go, I am lust. And then when I get invited, I'm like, okay, brass tacks. Which ones are we doing it on? And it's pretty much always like the first one and last one. But I was like, you know what? I'm not, even if I know them, like Theater of Pain, I probably know what I'm supposed to do in it. But I just ask every time because it's like, I'm not trying to get kicked out. I'm not trying to get yelled at.
No, especially because I understand it because I'm invited sometimes to as the I'm doing air quotes because I never refer to it as lust. It is hero, even though it's bestial wrath as hunter or whatever. Primal rage, is that what it's called for hunter? I don't even fucking know. It's called hero. I ask too whenever I'm invited, and again, most of the time I feel like they don't respond. I'm like, cool. I guess it's my decision.
Hey, third hero here. It's funny because I always call it by its Christian name, and I am unfortunately playing a shaman, and unfortunately its Christian name is Bloodlust. So it's weird that I actually have to call it by its actual name. Hey, if I can say the evoker name, I have to. It's in the contract.
No, honestly, I think it'd be really funny if you just said, "Hey, when do you guys want Fury of the Aspects?"
I am so glad that you are continuing to play a class that has a hero, because I am so scared anytime that the rare combination that I'm the only guy in raid that can do it, because I feel like you or who else does, Ash or a Brio are so downloaded to know that I just remember one time. It haunts me still. We were fighting someone and 12 seconds in, someone chirps up over the microphone and goes so why aren't we heroing? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
This is really funny because you missed a very crucial name when you're naming, and the name was Brodsky, because so for shaman, when I have actually a pretty large setup window. I am putting riptides on people as the timer's counting down. I'm dropping a cloud burst totem. I'm getting my trinkets and my ascendants ready to be pressed, and my earth elemental because it does boss damage. So I'm hitting fucking 7 buttons as the timer starts. And for quite a large period of time, I feel like Brodsky was like, "When are we fucking heroing?" And I think he was the one heroing, because it wasn't you, right? I'm putting
No.
you.
I mean, because I think I've said this before. Most of the time, I don't have my hero pet out in raid because I would rather have. Also, Brodsky and I have talked about this before about the perks of taking a defensive pet so that you have Fortitude of the Bear versus taking a hero pet where you have just passive leech. And I don't know what overall does more HPS, but I feel like I would just rather have an on-use heal in addition to exhilaration or turtle or the other leaf one. I don't fucking know. So I would always rather just have an additional defensive. So basically, long story short, I don't have my hero pet out at raid most of the time, and if I do, it's on accident. And that's unfortunate because if it's a later hero point, I would just accidentally hero when I just wanted to press the defensive.
So it makes me wonder, Brodsky, are you whipping out your hero pet? Are you God damn it, nobody's heroing, I'm gonna pull it out? Or do you already have it out ready to go?
I believe, based on past conversations, he already has a hero pet out, and he appreciates the leech, I think. But let us know.
It's just funny because some fights when we were progging with the guild, I'm like, okay, I gotta keep these people riptided and alive, and then it'd be like 8 seconds into the fight, and then I'm like, row, 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 row. And I'm like, what the hell? Oh, that's the weird hero sound, the weird animal hero sound. Oh shit, I didn't press hero. Nobody pressed hero.
What is the weird animal one? Does it put a thing above your head? I forgot.
Honestly, it's the one that looks like a troll symbol, I think. It's like red, and I think it
For
might...
hunters, if the hunter one feels very subtle to me. It's because like like the mage one's the best one because everyone's like,
I didn't want to say anything. I was like, the clock like madly spinning around. I was like, it's good.
No, the clock and then the voice line combined, like it's got to be like the best alliance hero.
Wait, so is the shaman? Wait, what does the shaman one do? What's the one that
It's
just
like
like
a
sounds like a
red
giant
screaming
ding?
face.
The shaman one is like the classic like, and it literally goes. It's like orc screaming, and then it's like a red mask, like a triangular shape at the bottom, and like glowing eyes. It's like a weird Zandalari mask or something.
So maybe I'm just thinking of that, but I'm pretty sure. But I almost want to say that the hunter one is similar.
The voice might be similar, maybe, but like the symbol was a lot more muted. I'm pretty sure.
Because I feel like in the past it wasn't even considered a real hero, was it?
No, I don't think it was, which is weird because like it is, but I think it's because you lost. It was because you lost like other utility, like how you were just saying, basically.
Ancient Hysteria, is that something that's familiar to you?
That's the hero that hunters do, right?
Yes,
and
Ancient
it's like
Hysteria
eyes, right?
is no, it's the same thing. It's the rectangular mask with like the square teefies at the bottom. So it looks like they just completely stole it off of the shaman one.
Okay, that's interesting. That's weird.
Okay, well I'm glad that I wasn't fucking losing it then. Then that. Oh, I accidentally slammed my keyboard. I'm glad I didn't stop the recording. The shot is kicking in.
Thanks, Babaha. Anyway, all of this was to say, so I have also been kind of going through the same kind of thing you've been going through, but just like pugging is scary, and I wasn't planning on playing a healer. I was planning on playing my mage, but I, again, as I've said previously, love my Earthen Resto Shaman. He's such a tanky boy.
I feel like you need to tell the story about how shocked we both were when you accidentally fell off of a building.
Okay, yeah. So I was trying to do my own healing testing and just seeing like, what abilities were better because I don't read my abilities because I'm like, it's a new class. I watched videos on how to play it. That's all I need. But now I'm just like sitting here and I'm reading what my interactions are, and I was testing on training dummies, and the training dummies, there are a fuck ton in Dornegal, like way more than you'd think. I think we mentioned this before, maybe, but there's like 4 towers that have a healing dummies, tank dummies, like all kinds of dummies in different formations. Some had different combinations of both. And I was testing healing dummies, and I was trying to show immune something, and I jumped off the building. And normally when I go off a building as a shaman, I press my little shaman fart. I don't know what it's called actually, but I call it shaman fart.
Shaman fart. What is the utility of shaman fart?
It's like a druid wild charge. It like pushes you forward. It's like air gust, wind gust, air.
I don't know this
push.
one. Is this only Resto?
No, I think anybody can get it, but I don't know. It's just like a utility choice. For me personally, I love having a wild charge, and it's on a 20-second cooldown. So basically, like, okay, so like on like Theater of Pain, when you're facing the boss who sends you down to the fight pit, when he does this big AoE green cone that covers half the room, if I shaman fart, I can completely just get out of that cone completely with one press of a button. It's almost like a ghetto blink, kind of, basically. So I'm jumping off this tower to show immune something, and I missed my shaman fart button. So I just basically fell and broke my ankles from the top of a tower to the bottom of Dornegal.
This was not a short building. This is like a 3-story building, by the way.
I don't know why I don't know why they made it so tall of to get to the training dummies. And so I fall and I land at my feet. And previously in the day, I was telling him how tanky I felt. Personally, I'm like, I think Pumice, I am the tankiest healer in the game right now. Not just like because I'm a resto, like me, the character. Because I'm an earthen shaman. Nobody plays earthen, let alone earthen healers, because you can't eat the right food, quote unquote. But earthen are like 10% tankier because they have like an innate armor, I guess. They're like armor stronger. Anyway, I land and I literally have like 1 health left from the top of the tower to the bottom of the ground.
And I'm like fairly confident that on my hunter, even with the bouncy talents, or Rachel's, I feel like I would have died there. I should test it though. Honestly, I should we need to find this place, and I need to test jumping off of it, because I'm curious.
Yeah, because like I had on like Earth Shield and all like my other like resto like has a lot of tanky talents to it. But the whole crux of this I forgot was I've been doing a lot of pugging on my resto shaman. Because I was planning on healing. I want to get better at healing. I'm just gonna throw myself into the fiery pits of 10s, pug 10s, and I've got 3 portals so far, which is crazy. I haven't had portals this early before. So either the season A, they definitely have nerfed a lot of stuff and it is easier. B, I've kind of gotten my groove as Resto Shaman way earlier than any other experimental class. Like, Warrior could not fucking figure it out. Pisses me off to this day. But I've kind of gotten it here. But I fucked up a key real bad the other day.
No,
The other day being yesterday.
It was a 10 Mechagon. And in my head, I can do Mechagon in my sleep. Like, this is the 110 I would do over and over again. And I'm actually looking at a completion rate chart, and it actually has the lowest completion rate out of all Mythic 10 keys, which is crazy. But, so I was in there, right? And I was watching Survivor at the same time. So I was a little distracted. And we broke up to the first boss, and we're killing it. And then they go, lost! Hit lost! And I said, oh, sorry. I pressed less. Then we continue on. Everything's fine. No one dies. I didn't die. No one died. We get to the third boss. Flower Man, Fire Circle, Mechagon guy. What's his name? We know his name?
I don't know.
Never knew his
Number
name.
2 from KND.
Head botanist something maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's definitely head botanist something. And we're doing the fight, and I'm watching a girl have a mental breakdown on the island. And then I turn and I look at my screen. The tank is spamming lost in all caps. And I'm like, oh, sorry, lust, here it is. Fine, we're still on time. We get to the final boss. There's 7 minutes left. Like, we're good. Well, I look at my screen. I'm watching Survivor again. I'm just
No, you have to let Helena have her freak out afterwards. You fall into this pit multiple times.
So I didn't learn my lesson, and so then Mechagon is in his nippler phase, and he's summoning the big blue magnet that pulls you into the center. And if you touch the magnet, you will die. I have not died on this fight all season. It's only been like, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? But I have run a lot of Mechagon 10s. I probably have run 8 to 9 Mechagon 10s. Most of them, on my part, flawless. Have never done that fight ever before. I get pulled into the magnet, and I die. And because I'm watching Survivor, I just, oh shit, I'm dead. Let me reincarnate. And like a dumbass, I press reincarnate, which just, when you reincarnate, you pop up exactly where you died, and the magnet was still fucking up.
So you reincarnated as it was still sucking in, so you just died immediately.
I died immediately. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so fucking stupid. Watch Survivor. And then...
At least I can watch this unabated now.
Then I get B-Res. I'm like, oh, B-Res, accept. The minute I flipped with the B-Res, the blue orbs, lightning orbs, moved forward and blasted me and killed me. Because when you're B-Res, you come back with 20% health. So I died 3 times in the span of 7 seconds. We were out of B-Reses. The boss killed everybody with 10% health left. And now the clock on the timer was 2 minutes to redo the whole fight.
No.
I bricked a 10 key by just literally just fucking around like a dummy.
Speaking of bricks, is it true that you guys just turn into a pile of rubble when you die? I've seen so few earthen, and I don't see you when you beef it. I don't know if Wowhead is lying to me.
I don't think I do. I think I just lay there.
So like your human or like your dwarven body sits down.
Yeah.
That's so lame. They were talking about when they were first announced that when they die, they would just explode into a pile of rocks. And I was like, that's at least neat. That's good world building.
I would love that, but maybe they changed it because like it's hard to see the bodies, like to like res.
I guess, yeah. B-res me. And then you just click on like a piece of the scenery. No, that's not me. I'm over here.
Find me. But so the key gets bricked and we finished the fight. I obviously had to pay attention. I couldn't die ever again after that point. And I didn't. And I don't usually die. I'm so fucking tanky. And so then the dungeon ends and I'm like, I was like, sorry guys. You guys all know how WoW's been freezing everybody's screen for 3 seconds, right?
Oh, sorry. The comrades over in Vladivostok, they were hacking my thing. Those damn Ruskies.
No, but like it definitely is a thing that everyone experiences all like currently where their game just freezes up for like 3 seconds. So Slidewhistle, were you blaming your mistakes on this bug that is happening?
I'm not getting yelled at in this pug for ruining. I literally ruined that key. And so then I was like, sorry, game froze for 2 seconds. It happens every once in a while. I don't know what's going on. Why does it fix it? Ha ha ha. And then the warlock, it wasn't his key, says, it's all good. I'm like, that wasn't even your key. How do you say that?
As the druid tank sits there just in tears. It's a 2 again. I'm gonna have to try so hard.
But then,
That's not good.
But then someone was like, oh, anyone need this cape? And I was like, hey, I could use that cape. So the guy who bricked the keys like, hey, give me the cape, please. And I got the cape. So I got rewarded for my misdeeds.
Wow, so you should do this more often, I guess. Just brick keys for gear.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Mythic Plus, I'm sorry, everyone, if you've seen this, but I don't know. It's not Skipits this week. What is this thing? Xalatath shows up and she's like, I'm putting smoke behind you. What's it do? Someone made fun of me because I kept trying to run into theirs because I thought it was the Skipits.
Oh no, you gotta decurse yourself.
Okay. I don't know. Sometimes it'd go away. Usually the healer or someone would take care of me, but I desperately was just trying to run behind people while combusting. Like, I'm just trying to get rid of your skipit. And they're like, what are you doing? And I was like,
Meanwhile, everyone's like, this creepy wolf girl keeps creeping up behind me.
I'm trying to lay on hands this woman, but she's too squirrely. She keeps running away.
But yeah, this week's Apex is Devour or something. And when Xalatath does it, everybody gets a healing absorb on them, and it's a curse. But also, it's like everything. It's a poison, it's a curse, it's a magic, it's a purge. So like, if you have any button to get rid of it, you can get rid of it off yourself. And I recommend it because some healers, it's hard to fucking deal with.
That's good that they made it in everything because that increases the amount of things in this game that I can get rid of with decurse to 2.
Yeah.
It's just Theater of Pain in this now.
Yeah, so I feel like basically whenever it comes up, like just decurse yourself immediately. I feel like it would be helpful for the healer depending on who they are. Because like as I was running a few dungeons on my priest, and like the way that it would normally time out is I could like mass dispel every other time Xalatath came, and like, you know, pending if people were close enough for me to mass dispel, I would mass dispel. Otherwise, you need to like single target dispel them, and like the cooldown is like 8 seconds or whatever. So, or heal them off. Like if you have like single target heals, you can heal them off. But I think every class has a way to deal with it if they talent into it. So like I'm a hunter, there's like this talent that I can take where if when I feign death, it like I don't know the specifics. It removes a negative thing, and as Slide said, this thing is everything. So I can feign death and then remove it from myself, and I think the timing of that makes it so that like on my hunter I can remove it every time.
Yeah, I wonder if Ice Block gets rid of it.
I feel like you should probably just decurse.
Yeah, so as I say, decursing is a single button, no mana. Ice block, I forgot what it is that I did, but I changed the amount of time that it takes to do it now. So now I can't do that boy for 4 entire minutes.
Oh my
Yeesharoo.
god, it's so long.
And I can only do it once since I'm not an ice mage.
Hey, how's your cartel rep going? Because mine is not. But Aaron, how are you doing it?
So that's the basic one, right?
Yeah, well, there's also the Dark Fuse one. Have you even been fucking around with them at all? Black Fuse, Dark Fuse?
Yeah, I do it occasionally. I don't know how you can actually get rep with them other than turning in 100 market research. So I do that, but I mean, it takes a little while to accrue market research.
It's 100?
It's 100.
Damn.
It's 100 for 500 points for them. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't gotten anything from them. I think I'm at like, it's like 12 to 14 with the basic one. And then I am mid-revered with the Bilgewater Cartel. I've just been choosing them every week. I want to say by next week I'll be completely done with them. And then it starts with whoever the second one is. Naren Noggerfoggers, guys.
I've been getting back into the Undermine world, doing some stuff. Obviously I just finished the quest cap Sojourner thingy without doing any of the rest of them. There's so much to do. I started digging around in trash piles again for the first time in forever. Got a bunch of mounts, or a mount. And I was like, oh yeah, this is
Did you get the hovering mount? Because I think that's the only one you can get. So I, conversely, have been not doing trash piles as much. I go buy them, and I'm just like, you simpletons, I already got what I need out of this.
I got an achievement for killing the big gold elemental, and I was like, I should have had this a while ago.
Yeah, that's like week 1 stuff, but you did it, yay!
I'm too busy healing keys. You want to spin the wheel?
Yeah. Okay, I have wheeled it out. Can you boys see our fancy, smanchy real wheel here?
Of course! And it's so sad. It's getting... The pie charts the pies are getting bigger. We're running out of people to spin with only 58.
We can actually kind of read them now.
Alright, for those not familiar, we have amassed a list of sexiest NPCs of the week over the past X amount of episodes that we forgot about, and now we're gonna rank where this one goes.
So here we go, I'm gonna give it a spin.
Spinning around.
Hell fucking yeah, this is gonna be an easy one.
So it has landed on the Borealis Rowers. And I believe these are just the men that row you around Borealis, not the flight points. But, if you remember, Borealis has, or maybe all of Tierguard Sound has a transport system where you can take boats instead of the flight path occasionally. I don't know what the benefit is. I don't think it's really faster. I think it's just if you want to be on the boat with these sexy men.
If I remember correctly, you use it one time each time you go to a new spot during BFA's story, and then that's it. They're not faster. It's just like, yard, this is the water place. There's water here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just if you really wanted to take a scenic route with some hot, beefy bears, which I feel like most people should just want to do. So how high are we going? 2, 3?
Okay, so I think because they are just... generally attractive people. I feel like top half, maybe. I don't know how you guys were thinking.
Shit. Well, there are 3 major waterways that you use to get around. So I feel like we should give them a spot for each waterway. Wait, what do you say, 3?
Wait, no, they're not hotter than Imp Mother Agatha? Who's hotter, Imp Mother Agatha or the Borealis Rollers?
It's a lot of flesh either way, whether you want it from multiple sweaty men or one very moist woman.
And like it's not fair that they have multiple, so it's hard to not rank them on having multiple, but like
I feel like Imp Mother deserves her number 2 spot still currently. I think we should put if we're going big here, I feel like we should put the Braille Strollers at 3.
I agree. Put them at 3. Knock Fangly Hoot down to 4.
Honestly, the fact that Fangly Hoot has still maintained being in the top 5 is crazy.
Hey, she's hot. She's got big brains.
Okay, I feel like we have time to do one more real quick here.
Seen it, boys.
New Rhythm Heaven coming out. So excited. Oh, fuck.
Oh, ho, ho. We almost had a funny, haha, little goofy one, but instead we're going to that mean dragon you used to see a lot, Militia.
Dragon in the Fight House.
Yeah, actually, though, she was the PvP one in Dragonflight, the PvP vendor quest giver. Actually, she might not have been a vendor, but she was definitely the quest giver in Veldraken.
I think she's both a quest giver and a vendor. She did it all. She might even be an upgrader. Who knows?
Okay, well, for reference, we have another badass female Drakthir at 6 in Scale Commander Emberthal. So I don't know if that's... Personally, I feel like Scale Commander Emberthal has an it factor and is sexier than Militia. But
Yes. I was going to say these two often, because I think it's almost like dot for dot the same model, but Emberthal, she's got it going on. Militia wishes she had, I guess, just some extra armor and a headpiece, but she ain't got it.
I love the Wahhead comments. I like her voice, but holy fuck, shut up for about 5 minutes. People are like, oh,
not a fan of the people.
Love doing a quest and hear her saying, there's a killer on the loose. You should let them know what it feels like. Go get them.
Honestly, that's a lot, but well, I don't know what we're thinking here.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, I trust your judgment on this one.
Looking at our other like below Emberthal, we have Meladrusa Chillworm at 10, we have Speaker Brinth at 11, we have Archivist Vane at 26, we have the pre-orders for Exploring Azeroth, Islands and Isles at 34. I feel like, is Militia hotter than these pre-orders?
Yes.
I would agree.
Hotter than Archivist Vane?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hotter than Speaker Brinth?
No, Militia, she only has the 2 arms for lovin'. Speaker's just got her, it's a numbers game.
I think I agree with you. So I think that means that Militia goes somewhere between those two. So I'm thinking maybe like a 15 or 16.
I was thinking 16.
16. In my favorite Canadian television show and my second favorite Black Dragonflight Dragon Woman.
Perfect.
Well, there we have it. Okay, so we got 2 spins out of the way this week.
Yeah, now it's time for our top 2, bottom boot, medium moot. I'll go first. I got a really quickie one.
Oh, a quick little toot.
I got a bottom boot.
A quick little boot.
My bottom boot is why me bricking that key wasn't so bad.
Whoa.
So me and Pablo and Immune, we were pugging some keys. We were pugging our last key of the night. I listed my Cinder Brew Meadery 10. We're like, I don't want to do this key, but it's Monday at like 10 o'clock, whatever. What's it matter? The key will change by tomorrow. We're probably not going to time it. Whatever. So we get a warrior who's very chatty Cathy, talking a lot. And then I'm waiting for a tank. And I want to have an extra B-res. I get a guardian tank. He comes in, we get it all ready. Warrior goes poop. The warrior's poop took longer than this dungeon did. Because we get into the fucking dungeon and the bear tank pulls the left side of the room. Now, if you're a new tank, do not pull the left side of Cinder Brew Meadery, because there's a boss that walks around. He's a mini boss, and if you pull him with any ads, you die. So this guardian druid went left and pulled a bunch of shit and pulled the mini boss. We all die immediately. I'm talking like 10 seconds in, we all die. Then the motherfucker, I see him running out the fucking door of Cinder Brew Meadery. He's leaving, and the fucking warrior goes, oh, no, you can come back in at reset. And I'm like, Immune, he's leaving. He drops group and leaves immediately, leaving us without a fucking tank for 10.
Yeah, so then we're all just like, wow, did that just happen? And we're like, yeah, well, yeah, it did. Okay. I mean, like, it's not the first time this has happened to me where a first pull fails and the group falls apart. It happens more often than you would think, but this was fully on him. And I think he just got embarrassed and then ran away.
So we are like, well, whatever. We go outside, and though he left the group, he's still marked as the tank, and we see him. We see him standing outside of the dungeon looking at us, and he notices that we looked at him, and he flies away immediately. This is like when you had that PvP fight, Aaron, with that guy, and he flew away. This was the same energy, and I /yelled, and I went, You! So fuck that bear tank. Aaron, TTBBMM.
Well, I have a quick TT.
TTT.
It is that in an attempt to level up my second bananas, I set up a new war band group, and it was just the 5th through 8th favorite characters, 2 of which being Walter and Growlina, my Death Knights. And I gotta say, I'm probably playing them wrong, but they're surprisingly fun to play. I might like Death Knight even a little bit more than Warrior, as crazy as that is to say.
You know, I saw you on Growlina, and I was like, what is happening here?
Yeah, I don't know which I like better because, God, what even is it? Stinky DK. That's a lot of fun. I like all the guys that I can pull. It seems deceptively easy, and I don't know if that's just a TWW thing or if I'm playing it vastly wrong, but I was like, that seems fun. But at the same time, I really liked all the AoE and stuff I was doing with Frost. I can say, though, that I liked playing Walter distinctly less than Growlina because the animations they make him do as like a big man with 2 little one-hand weapons, not good. I don't know how male Worgans, like, who have martial weapons, how you guys deal with it, but it was a slog getting through, watching him do the little flip over and over again. I don't know what it is. I'm going to have to get this little flip on film at some point, but it's like, Blizzard, can we change this? Like, I feel like no one can be happy with this thing. No one's proud of their enormous man, tiny corkscrew. Anywho, Immunization, give us the biz.
Well, I have a top 2 here.
Toot.
And it is, I don't think that they announced this. At least I didn't see anything about this, but they made some changes in Theater of Pain that I really appreciate. And it's just such great quality of life. I was reminded earlier when Slide was talking about the boss. We normally do it first, the one with the fight pit. He infamously has always had a frontal, if you could even call it that based off of what it was showing before. Because it was just like a circle in front of him, and then you just had to know that, like, you couldn't stand behind that circle either. It was like a full-ass frontal. But then, no, they changed it. So then, like, it still does that. But then it has, like, this giant black, like, lines past it so that you know not to stand in that.
It's almost like when a bowling alley has bumper lanes up.
Yeah, so they added that there. And then on the way to the boss that they just completely changed. The one that used to have, like, stand in the puddles and whatever. And now it's like you spawn ads with all the different platforms, and then the one ads that would make like tornadoes and potentially throw you off. Now they still make their tornadoes, but they telegraph exactly with like giant frontal lines where that tornado is going to go. So you, like before, I would just always just like run around like a madman because like it was hard for me to tell which way that they were facing. And even if I knew which way they were facing, I'm like, I'm just going to give it a lot of space so that I don't get accidentally hit by this tornado and knocked off the platform. But no, now it's very, very apparent. And I'm like, wow, this is a great change.
I don't know what took them so long, or I haven't even seen Wowhead post about this. I don't even think they know. Wowhead, this is a delicious article you could be writing instead of the fucking 5 Colterian items I want in my butthole.
Well, I can think of 5 rowers that I would want on my butthole.
Hey.
And speaking of pains in the butts, while I was pulling up the Patreon list, I forgot that I did have a quick bottom boot from earlier in the week.
Boo.
Boo.
I waited for Tekaf, which was a world boss that claims to give you the starters for a mount in Ashkahet. I waited for 25 minutes. No one in the guild was willing to help me kill it. I was on Walter, by the way, so that's why I had to wait. Eventually, Slidewhistle did show up. He and I tag teamed and we fought it. And then it was revealed that you have to be level 78 to start said quest. So, I was not that level, so I waited in vain.
I got it. I haven't done it yet.
Fun. Well, I'm going to need something to do while I sit there and wait. And I'm going to make that something to do thanking our lovely patrons. Their names include Ahoy Vince, Azarin, Digital Dave, asking Growlina to say, for the Horde. Miskit, the Orchidee Orc. Mitch wants to remind everyone that Rathion isn't daddy, he's a literal child. Crucifix, Chromone, the inaugural Dornagooner. Alternator, Saracen Hawk, Justin, give me back my PhD. Arcane, Kick Puncher, Remy. Baba Booey Muggy, Brodsky. 3 new patrons in a row. Wowzer.
Where do they come from?
Where did they go?
We're talking about Suzuka, Dupes, and Sugar Bear.
Time is money, friend.
Dr. Foster, Grumpy Old Shaman, Jerome, Ali, Adorno.
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Losing the Patient, Gershie is going to East Hills. Duff the Horde, Pooper Cooper, Calcus.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Cilantro, Adam N., Vanderlyle.
Can you dig it?
And Will, a.k.a. Tyre, Trade Chat's fallen father.
Join those patrons at patreon.com/do-not-relent and go to our Linktree, do-not-relent.com, for everything else you may need. What about you two hussies? Where can they find your addresses?
Well, I'm not going to give my full address out, but you can find me on the internets, on Twitter at New Era Alex, or on Blue Sky at Immunization.
You can find me on the white pages, the pages where they list every white person's name and address. But if you want to find me more directly, you can find me at Twitter at The Bigacheesy, Blue Sky on I'm Around. And you can watch me play video games at twitch.tv/AaronDNR.
I mean, I guess you gotta find me on the yellow pages then.
And if you guys are still fans, see you next week. And remember,
Another down. Do not relent.
Do Not Relent is a podcast within the 3HNC network, representing U.S. Proudmoore's premier podcasts.
That was a very good wish.